Okay, and let's get moving. Okay, we're going to have our reaching hands down by our sides, fingertips just reaching towards the floor. Okay, and just think of that own little to-do list you have in your mind's eye. Okay, so perhaps that's just reminding yourself, let's just mix it up a bit. Perhaps you need to think about remembering to just gently bring that head slightly back. If you know perhaps you have a bit of an anterior tilt, you might be hanging forwards. Just reverse that nose back into its little parking space, chin and slightly in towards that neckline and directly over your shoulder girdle. Perhaps your thoughts are towards your feet. Do you need to relax your toes? Do you know that you tend to grip the floor? Maybe gently picking up the toes and placing them down one at a time, nice and broadly on the floor. Maybe you pronate, so you're conscious that you roll in slightly. So maybe a little energy down the little side of your foot between the little toe and the heel, gently easing down the outside edge of your foot there. Okay. Maybe you need to remind yourself to relax the shoulders down a little bit more and the shoulder blades back and down. If you know you have a general propensity to curving the shoulders forward, so maybe open up a little bit more and the shoulder blades back and down. Okay, so do what you feel is necessary as you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then, of course, once you've gone through this little tick list, you can start to think about that muscle activation. Okay, so you've got yourself into your skeletal perfect form, and then you're going to gently draw your belly to spine and draw in the core muscles, so engaging through that midsection. Well done. And also the pelvic floor area. All right, so this is with your exhale. Always with the exhale, you're noticing that lovely draw in and up into your Pilates powerhouse. Well done. Okay, we've got just a few more breaths as we gather ourselves, breathing in nice and tall through the crown of our head, and exhale, just drawing in through the core pelvic floor. Quite a lot we're going to get through today, so keep on going there. One more breath in, nice and tall. That's lovely, great stuff. Exhale, zipping and hollowing. Well done. And go ahead and open your eyes, bring yourselves back into your rooms, and then bring your hands out towards the front, just a bit wider than our normal shoulder width. Okay, so a bit broad there. A little fist with the hands. Okay, so you're holding onto an imaginary pole in front of you, just below shoulder height if you can. All righty, and you're going to think about this width here staying set. Okay, so we're going to go into a roll down. What I don't want is these hands to come closer together, and I also don't want you to lose the shoulder blade connection. Okay, so go ahead and find the pull of the shoulder blades down, find a slight pull down under that armpit area, legs stay straight for me, and take your chin into your throat space and start to peel down. But remember to keep those shoulder blades down. Remember to keep those armpits pulling down towards the back of you. Even when you're rolling down and you flipped kind of upside down a bit, you're still engaging the shoulder blades. When you roll back up, feel it peeling up. You feel yourself peeling up one vertebrae at a time, but the shoulder blades are staying down low in those pockets. Okay, let's try that again. Breathe in, grow tall, shoulder blades back and down, and into your roll down, peeling down. Okay, gently rolling down. Don't let those shoulders come up towards the ears. Great stuff. Don't let those lovely shoulder blades relax. They're drawing down the back. And as you come back up, feel the energy of the shoulder blades pulling down. Super. Nice. Well done. And then peel back up into standing. Great stuff. Okay, one more time. Breathing in. Exhale. This time we're going to pause down. Okay, releasing down, rolling down, shoulder blades still engaged. When you get to this lower point, you've got your imaginary pole there. I want you to almost press that pole against your shins. Okay, so if you had a pole, you'd be touching against your knees or shins and press. So you've got that sense of lifting from the armpit and the tricep, and from there, peel up. So you feel a little bit more engagement perhaps in the lats. And then one more time, just flowing up into standing. Breathe in, exhale, roll down. When you get to your maximum range, these hamstrings getting a bit more of a stretch this fourth time. Press the pole against your shins. Reach with those arms to the back of you, and then restack by tucking that tailbone under and into standing. Well done. Okay, well done, well done. Okay, we're just having trouble getting Suchi in. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we've got our hands behind the back of the heads for me, guys. So just going to have the hands behind, and the jawline is just supported with your thumbs there. Okay, Once you've got these arms in this position, remember not to arch the back, okay? Thinking of pulling down that rib cage still towards the pelvis, yes? Bend the knees, softening the knees towards the toes. We're going to take a slightly more dynamic roll down now. So bring your chin into your chest and peel down, nose hitting towards your knees, heading down towards the knees. You can get a little bit more into the back of that neck, maybe over the tailbone, and then roll back up. Knees stay soft, okay? And then facing forwards. Keep those knees bent, and again, we're off we go, peeling down, chin to chest, nose coming down, almost like it's trying to touch the knees or thighs. And then gently peel back up and stay in this position with the knees bent, looking at me for a moment. Okay, so let me just show you what we're going to do now. I'm going to roll down, nose to knees. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is lift your left elbow and your rib cage, okay? So you're looking at almost underneath the armpit into this kind of candy cane curve position. And then you're going to come nose to knees and lift your right elbow and looking forward as much as you can towards me, okay? So when you're ready, breathe in and roll down. If you've started, please continue. You know what you're doing, that's fine. Left elbow lifts, right elbow down, looking up towards me. Lift your chest forwards, looking towards the front of the room. Well done, okay, that's it. So you're always peeling up to the side. Yes, well done, Mary. Come back down, nose to knees, and then roll over to the other side and lift your right elbow. Yeah, good. And come back down. Bring yourself, if you can, lift the heart space forward and open your chest. So you're looking up. That's it, Janet. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that's it. So you're going to peep at me, Mary, at the same time. Well done. And come back down within your range, of course, and then lifting one more time, stretching through those sides, and then gently peel back up and into standing. Gorgeous, well done. Okay, pop in your hands now just onto your hips. A little bit of mini teaching here for us to think about our hip flexor openers. Okay, so on your hands to be on your hips, I'd like you to go ahead and lift your left heel. And I want you to make sure these hips haven't hitched, okay? So you haven't lifted the left hip, so your hips are still in parallel. Then into feather touch on this lovely big toe on the left side. Really gentle feather touch there. Okay, from here, we're going to simply pull the pubic bone towards you. So you're tilting the pubic bone towards you, and you're tilting the pelvis posteriorly towards the back. Okay, then we're going to gently tilt the pelvis anteriorly to the front. So simple pelvic tilts forwards and backwards. And we're really getting into that sacroiliac joint, okay, having a really nice little dip around in there. Okay, that's great, well done, yeah. Good, good, good. Now, what we're just being observant of here, okay, is that these legs are in parallel. So let's not have the knee heading out towards the side. Your knee is in parallel towards the front of you. Good, that's better. And you're just going to think about the space that's going on in the front of this tilting hip, or this forwards hip. As you tilt the pelvis and to the back, you're going to be opening up the hip flexor here. As you tilt the pelvis forwards, of course, you're going to be reducing the range of this hip. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about, as much as we can, making sure we're aware of the pelvic tilt movement, okay, and we're going to switch to the other side, releasing onto the other side, okay, with your right heel lifting, hip staying parallel to the floor, into toe touch on the right, and again, tilting forwards and backwards, mobilizing this lower spine, but also around the hip flexors. So you can really dig quite deeply into this, guys, okay, so that sense of really pushing the tailbone up and pulling the tailbone underneath you, sending that tailbone away. Well done. And that's our last one. And we're going to come down onto the mats. Okay, so go ahead, release yourself onto the mat. We're sitting in the center of the mat space. Our ankles are flexed, so toes are raised to begin with. Okay, so your heels are just resting on the end of the mat there, knees roughly hip width apart. And go ahead and find your shoulder width position for the hands now, as we're familiar with, shoulder blades back and down. So it's this business here I want to think about, this hip opening, okay, because I'm conscious that sometimes we feel like we're hanging off the hips a bit when we go into C curve. We are trying to find space at the front of the pelvis here. So the first thing I'm going to get you to do, keep looking out towards the front, and I'd like you to pelvic tilt as you did a moment ago, gently pelvic tilt. That's all I'm asking you to do, to create the space you just found a moment ago at the front of this pelvis. Conscious and aware now, you've got lots of room underneath those hip bones, and then peel yourself back up into sitting. Okay, this is phase one of the C curve. Breathe in, exhale, just a pelvic tilt. There's nothing going on in the rib cage, nothing going on in your upper spine at all. And come back up. And this next time, holding back. All right, so tilting the pelvis. So you've just released slightly in the pelvis there. Right, well done. Now we're going to think about this upper rib cage. I'd like you to actually stay where the pelvis is, but just pull the rib cage forwards as if it's trying to roll over the pelvis itself. I'm not asking you to bring your nose to knees or peel forwards and lift up. I'm just saying bring the rib cage forwards, and that gives you a really big stretch into that lower lumbar spine and back. Then peel yourself back up into sitting. Okay, so let's break it down again. First, we've got our lovely pelvic tilt, open up the hip flexors. Now we bring the rib cage forward over the front of that pelvis and the hip area, then peel yourself back up into sitting. Well done. One more time. Open the front of the pelvis with your tilt. Gentle rib cage roll forwards, and then back up into sitting nice and tall. Okay, so we're going to just pause back in the C curve. So just pelvic tilt for me, releasing back, pausing here. Okay, we've got our hands towards the front. You've got an imaginary block in these hands. I would like you to literally offer me the block to the side. Over we go towards the side, offering that block towards me or to your neighbor, breathing in and then come back to center and exhale to the other side. Rotation now through that lower spine and come back through to center with a breath in. Exhale, so you're still finding space at the front of those hips. Okay, so it should be a core contraction, not hanging off that pelvis from the hip area. Okay, that's what I'm conscious of. We've got one more either side as you exhale, round to the side. And last one. And then bring yourself back up into sitting, nice and tall. Well done, gorgeous. Okay, we're going to cross our legs over and roll onto our fronts, guys. Okay, we're going to start with the Sphinx position. So your elbows and hands are going to be down. We're just going to go into a little bit of back extension. Okay, so your head is down between the hands, forehead on the mat. Okay, so we're not going to be down here too long, so you can keep glasses on if you want to. All right, so your shoulder blades are back and down and legs are roughly hip width. We're going to just remind ourselves of that stretch forward from the top of the head. So breathe in for me as you exhale, belly in, dig into your elbows and just pull yourself forward. Feel the space you can create in that lower spine area. And we're going to do that just one more time with an exhale. When you're ready, exhale and dig the elbows in, pull forwards. Feel that belly pulling in, allowing you to stretch to the top of your head. And then we're going to add in extension. So breathe in, exhale, as you lengthen the spine, lifting the forehead off the mat, lift your gaze, and you're going to just feel that lovely pull forwards. We're not lifting the elbows. We're not looking to get a great arch in the back. We want to come forwards and then lift. Okay, so please think about that. Again, chunk it down, break it down, breathe in, exhale, find the space, dig into the elbows, shoulder blades down, lift the forehead up into extension. And of course, if your extension is already giving you any hassle, please just think about this as a lengthening piece. You don't have to lift the gaze. You can just continue to stretch that spine, just gently having a gorgeous stretch like I'm showing you, and then pause back down. Wonderful. Okay, well done. Okay, so guys, I'm going to bring those elbows a little bit lower and in towards our lower rib cage area and tuck them a little bit hard, closer in towards your chest. Okay, so we're going to now just think about the hand, the forearm and the elbow that's touching the mat. When I ask you to exhale the next time, I would like you to lift the right hand, forearm and elbow off the mat by roughly speaking a centimetre or two to the side, not a very big lift, and then you come back down. Breathe in, exhale, that's important, space in the spine, lifting your left hand, elbow and forearm off and down. So continue there. Mindful that you're not lifting by pulling the elbow down into the waist space, okay? You're trying to just think of this hand, forearm and elbow as one little block, and you're just going to lift it. And what we're working on here, of course, is those shoulder blades alternating and lifting and rolling in towards the center of the middle of your spine. Okay, so it's that sense of just activating the rhomboids, trapezius in the middle of the shoulder blade area, almost like wings are trying to roll over the spine space in the center. Now guys, if you feel like you're comfortable, you can do doubles, but not if you're starting to think the only way you can lift your arms is to just really tense the shoulders and then feel that it's coming into your lower back. If you feel that response from the double arm lift, please return just to singles with one on the mat, okay? But if you are feeling you're okay and comfortable, then go ahead, both arms lifting, forearm lift as you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And on your last one, if you're singles or doubles, I don't mind, you can lift and hold a single and double and hold in the raised and elevated position. Okay, we're going to breathe in, and as we exhale, we're going to send the arms forward into Superman, reaching forwards with one arm or two, it's fine. And then you're going to breathe in, exhale, and draw those arms back towards your side and squeeze those elbows into your waist. Staying off the mat, breathe in, exhale. If you're singles, you flip to the other side. If you're doubles, go ahead, stretch those legs in, arms into Superman, and then bring those hands back by your sides. Where you breathe in, they stay off the mat in float. Exhale forwards the whole time, hovering off the mat. Okay, that's the key here. If you feel it's a struggle, back into singles at any point. Exhale forwards, reaching into Superman, where you breathe in, and exhale, pull those elbows back in. We've got one more, breathing in, exhale, sending your arms into Superman. Pause, breathe in, and exhale, pull those arms back down. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Wonderful. Let the arms sink down onto the mat. Tuck your toes under. Adjust your hands if you need to be closer down the chest as we're coming into 4-point kneeling. Lift yourself into 4-point kneeling. Knees under, hips, hands under, shoulders. Okay. So in 4-point kneeling, guys, you're going to do a bit of deep dive and digging into this shoulder area. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is notice that your shoulders are currently facing the mat. Not obvious, but this is what I want you to try and focus on, keeping this shoulder stability for me whilst we actively work on our single arm rotations. Okay, so go ahead and turn your right hand so you've got a little finger down on the mat and the palm of the right hand is facing into the midline. Okay, now reach that hand forwards. All righty, now you can take any modifications on your supporting hand. If you want to go into a fist or you want to put your hand on a cushion, then please do, if it's uncomfortable. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lift that hand, that's the right hand, towards your temple or your shoulder height. Turn the thumb down so your little finger is up and your palm is now facing out and away from the middle of the mat. Keep the shoulders where they are. This is the bit we need to go back to the shoulders. Think where they are. Lift that right little finger towards the sky. We're going to circle that arm around behind us, sweeping it past our thigh or our bottom, and it comes back onto the mat where we switch to the other side. Nice and calm in your center. Left hand onto the little finger, breathing in, send that arm forwards. Don't let the shoulder dip. Breathe in, exhale, lifting to hold shoulder height, turning your thumb down, little finger up, and your palms faced out. Keep the shoulders facing down. We don't follow the arm with our gaze. We're just making this humerus bone work in the shoulder socket, independently of the rib cage and the spine moving. Okay, on to the right again. One more time, single. Thumb down, little finger up, sweeping up and round. Find that full range of movement, especially around the back there. And switching to the left, single arm lift, rotation, thumb down, little finger up, and sweeping around, round down, eyes down to the mat, and pause. Okay, pause into child's pose, weight off the wrist for a second, guys. As I mentioned, do please modify if you need to. You can roll the front edge of the mat up. Okay, if that's a wristy thing, that little fold, 1 or 2 folds, will just take some of the angle off the wrist if it's hurting, okay? Or indeed, go find a little cushion or a block. Please don't struggle on where I can't see those hands of yours, all right? Just a little bit of a child's pose, breath into the back. And then we're coming back up. We have another level here. So we're going to take a modification if you want to, or do another set as you were. If you're feeling you're happy to go on, our left leg is now extending out, toenails down. So you want to feel the front, top of your foot is down on the mat. Right hand, again, little finger down, palm in. Go ahead and reach that right hand forwards. Now the leg can stay down if you wish, or if you want to go ahead and lift that left leg up and reach the leg out behind you, pressing into your right shin, lifting your right hand to temple height, and turn the thumb down, little finger up. Go ahead and circle the arm. We're going to do 5 on this side. Okay, mindful, there's no rush. We're not windmilling. We're pausing in between with a breath in and then exhaling as we circle the arm around. Really working on our shoulder stability here, working on our range of movement in the shoulder, and of course now our pelvic lumbar stability as well, as we have elevated that leg. Any point you want to touch the toe down, if you're feeling a bit wobbly, please do. And this is our final one, sweeping round and switching. Go ahead, switch straight away. We'll take the weight off that wrist. Okay, give it a break. Right leg extending out, top of the foot down. Checking the hips are flat to the mat, left hand forwards and pause. Lifting your leg if you wish at this point and your left arm to temple height. Roll it now, thumb down, finger up, looking down to the mat and rotating your single arm rotation behind you, skimming past your bottom, pause in between, breath in, reach that leg away from you behind. Find the tummy in, pelvic floor as well. Okay, being mindful, we're trying to pause and breath in between each one. Well done. Don't forget that rotation of the hand to begin with. Get that change in the twist in the humerus bone. It allows us to open up the pectoral muscles across the front, and then we get larger range. Coming back in, if this is your last one, if not, make it the last one, and pausing here, back into child's pose again, easing your bottom away there towards the back. Any cushions as well, please modify. Popping cushions under bums and foreheads allows you just to relax the muscles slightly and sink perhaps deeper into your stretch or your rest with support. And then we're coming back onto our tummies, okay? It's a little bit of up downs going on today. So let's bring ourselves back onto our mats. And we are wide like a starfish. So you've got your wide arms and wide legs, okay? Be confident with the legs, all righty? Sometimes we feel a bit like we don't want to go beyond the mat. Reach out with those legs and feel nice and long through the arms and legs. Forehead is down. We are down with the forehead for a bit, so you might want to lose glasses. Okay, so bellies are in. As you breathe in, I want you to think only thing you're doing is exhaling and bringing that belly in. A little bit of a reminder every time we're on our fronts, we want to support that lower back. So as you're exhaling, imagining that little belly velcroing in and up to the spine. And on your next exhale, lifting one arm, one leg, and pause with that arm and leg lifted, please. Reach that arm and leg as far as they can away from your body, and then place them back down. And breathe in, exhale, tummy up, and lift the opposite arm and leg up and reach and stretch, stretch, stretch. And back down. Okay, back to the first arm and leg combination. Breathe in, exhale, lift and hold. Now you've got that lift and hold, you've got that reach as long as you can. I want you to breathe in, maintain the hold off the floor, and then exhale, send the arm and leg a little bit further away from the midline of your body out towards that diagonal, and then just come back to your starting star-shaped position. With a breath in, you stay up, exhale, and just out towards the side, and back to center. Breathing in, exhale. Keeping pressing down on that opposite hip. Try not to roll out with that leg, okay? Don't get too enthusiastic and find that you're lifting the opposing hip, okay? Both hips are facing down. And we're just continuing here, holding high, lengthening the arm and leg as much as you can, and just moving out to further your range. Last one. And then let the arm and leg come back down. Breathing in. Okay, exhale, opposite arm and leg or the other arm and leg lifting and reach. Find that stretch, 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 stretch. Feel there as long as they can be from the torso. Breathe in, exhale, send the leg and arm slightly further away to their diagonal and back to the start star position. Out we go and back in. So it's about maybe an inch or two. That's really the only distance you're looking to move out really here, working down the outside edge of your bottom there, the side of your thigh, the side of your hip. As you think about that core stability, you're thinking about that opposing hip staying down. It does want to kind of lift, probably. We've got 3 more. Don't forget the tummy pulling in, last 2. And our final 1. Well done. And bring that leg down and onto the mat. Gorgeous. Bring your legs into parallel. And what I'd like you to do is stay where your arms are, but we're going to turn our hands. So just like we did a moment ago with our little finger down and palms facing in towards each other. Okay. Now we're going to work on developing the back extension. We had a bit of a go first thing with our supporting work with Sphinx. If you felt like that was enough for you, then you're more than welcome to just go ahead for this next piece and go into your forehead lift, okay? If you're happy to move a little bit more into extension, you're going to be pulling your arms in and pulling up into extension if you feel able, okay? All right, so guys, first of all, breathe in. Your arms stay straight. Pull down with the shoulder blades and armpits. You might even feel that just that first innovation of that shoulder blade area will pull on the fingers. Do you feel the little fingers move? Perhaps you do. What we are trying to do is keep the arms straight. And as you exhale, tummy in, forehead float, start to feel those little fingers pulling in towards the corners of the mat. And we're going to start to elevate the upper body, the chest, and your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, peeling up. The arms are straight. Yeah, and then gently ease back down. Seeing a little bit this week of the elbows suddenly sinking into the mat and then using that as your press to lift. Now you might want to modify if that feels like it's for you, then obviously please just keep yourself supported. But technically, if I can get you to keep the arms straight. Okay, this is also swan dive preparation, breathing in, exhale, pulling forwards, lengthening the spine, lifting into back extension and down. Getting some movement with those hands, pulling down with the shoulder blades and the armpits. Lift, 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 lift. Bottoms, legs relaxed. And we've got a final one, breathing in. Exhale, pulling down, down, down with the shoulders. Lift, lift, lift. Gorgeous. And then gently release down, down, down. Well done. Okay. Bring those hands now in. We're going to press back into child's pose again. One more time, easing your bottom over towards your heels and just counterpose the work you're doing there. Nice and gentle, ease towards the heels. Again, take a couple of breaths in here. Nice, big breaths. Okay. So just sit yourselves up for a moment, okay, and just take some wrist rotations while I quickly remind you what we're going to do next. Okay, we are going to be back into 4-point kneeling, so we're going to give the shoulders a rest, but we're back onto our wrists, I'm afraid. So any modifications, go ahead and take them, as I said before. We're working in a couple of positions that you are familiar with. Okay, currently I'm showing you our flat back, okay, which is keeping obviously an imaginary pole on the crown of the head down to the tailbone, nice and still. We're going to go ahead into our swimming position. I will just show you quickly, okay? And we're going to try and think about that flat back staying nice and still as you bring your elbow diagonally across to try and meet your knee underneath. What we're doing is making the skeleton stay still, and we're looking to get the exterior trunk muscles to try and really over the top of that skeleton contract and pull together. Then we're going to go into round back. Okay, so the round back, of course, then is where you actually are trying to bring your nose in as if you're trying to meet your tummy button under there. And of course, at that point, we let the spine come with us, and then we're looking to get some more internal trunk and outer trunk muscle work. So it's all good. And the point is, first off, we're going to go flat back. Okay, so first all nice and flat back. All right, sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand that. So we're going to just bring ourselves into 4-point, extend your right arm and leg touching towards the floor in the front of you and behind, lifting up to your elevated shoulder height. In that shoulder height position, now the back stays nice and still. Breathe in, reach those legs and arms away from each other. Exhale, and with all your might, keep the still skeleton, but draw the knee in towards the elbow and really engage your tummy muscles. Exhale, and we're going to breathe in as you reach out. Exhale as you come back in. Okay, so just working that side. Good. Keeping that flat back, imagining as much as you can that there's no skeletal rounding. Yeah, that's lovely. Nice understanding. Great, guys. We've got one more. I don't have you here too long. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So give that wrist a rest. Back into 4-point, reset, tummy in. Go ahead. Opposite hand and leg away. Lifting up to shoulder height, breathing in. Exhale, flat back, drawing in. Underneath you, knee to elbow. And out we go with the breath in. We've got 5 more. And 4. And 3. Last 2. Really nice understanding, guys. Well done. And our final one. Okay, resting very quickly into a child's pose. Just a little temporary weight off the wrists. Wrist rotations if you need to. Small 360s at the wrists. And of course, now we're going to go into our full mobilized round back. So draw yourself back up and we're into our final piece on this 4-point series, I promise. Okay, so into our 4-point kneeling. And go ahead and extend the first arm and leg out to shoulder height, pausing here. Breathe in, find a space in your whole of the body. Exhale. Now bring that chin into your throat space, nose pulling towards the pubic bone, and then reach the breath in. So we've got 5 more, 6 on each side. Okay, you've just got 2 more. Well done. Really getting that chin in as well. Don't forget you're bringing that nose in. Involve the cervical spine too. Pausing after this next one and switching sides. Find your 4-point kneeling in between. Tidy yourselves up. Nice breath in and up we go into our raised position where we start with a reach. Breathing in, then exhale and draw in on the opposite side. Well done. Find that reach, especially through the leg, long through the abdomen, feeling that lovely tummy button, having a stretch as well as you reach that leg away and arm away, and drawing in underneath you, chin into throat space. We've got 3 more. Well done. Last 2. And our final one. And then gently taking your hands back and into 4-point kneeling. Wonderful. Cross the legs behind you, rolling over. Now I'm into sitting. So beg pardon, into supine. So just releasing now onto the mat. Feet are going to be up towards your bottoms. Okay, so you're gently relaxing down onto the mat. Allow yourself to have a couple of breaths and just allow the spine to just melt into the mat. Hands are by your sides. Don't forget those feet are hip width apart, okay? They can just meander together, but we're hip width apart for this particular piece. Okay, so first of all, just a simple pelvic tilt for me, pulling the pubic bone towards you, lift the bottom off the mat. Feel the stretch in the hip flexors, okay? And then release that down. One more time, pull the pubic bone towards you, lifting the buttocks. Pausing here, dig a little bit into the feet, possibly press into those kneecaps away from you, and then release back down. Find the space. And go ahead, peeling up now a little bit higher, so you're looking towards the waistband area. Belly button pulling in, imagining behind you, pressing down 1 vertebrae at a time, and release. And again, peeling up to the waistband, and then releasing back down. And now we're going to go ahead and find our peel of our bridge all the way up to perhaps the rib cage. Maybe you're happy up on those shoulder blades. Okay, and release back down. And on this last time, we're going to bring ourselves up and hold. So go ahead and draw yourselves up into a bridge, either the rib cage or up onto the shoulder blades. No further if you can, please. Arms are just pressing down into the mat for a moment. Finding yourself that length from the throat space all the way to the knees. Okay, again, belly coming in, feeling like you're going to stretch the belly button area, and then bend the arms and pop your hands onto your hips. Okay, we're going to just type righter here. Currently your pelvis is parallel and horizontal to the ceiling, yes? Keeping it parallel, so there's no dipping of the bottom. Okay, this is not a seesaw. I want you to imagine an old-fashioned typewriter, which just travels to the left and right, you know, that top trolley bit. I want you to now just imagine your hips and your pelvis are that top trolley. They're going to push from left to right. Now, this is not the knees. This is not facilitated by the knees sweeping from side to side. They're kind of trying to stay still. So there's not a big move, but I want you to be conscious and aware that you're shifting from left to right. There's no lowering, as I say, of the hips. So the bottom is not coming at any point lower to the mat, but you're moving left to right. And now we've been here a little while. Let's come back to center and then just peel down onto the mat for me, please, guys. So pressing 1 vertebrae down at a time. Remind yourself of how you can articulate that spine with the pubic bone staying up as high as it can be until the last minute, and then come into neutral. Okay, so this next time you come back up, we're going to then release down segmentally. In between each release, we're going to do the typewriter once from left to right, coming back to center and then releasing again. Okay, so when you're ready, let's peel up into your bridge. If you prefer the hands down, you're more than welcome, or pop them onto your hips so you kind of know where you are as guidance. And then when you're ready, just think about the top vertebrae currently that's on the mat at the top of you there. Maybe it's the back of the throat space, perhaps it's the shoulder blades or your rib cage. Release 1 vertebrae down and then tip typewriter from left to right. Release 1 more vertebrae And then tight right the hips. And down we go, one at a time, as slowly as you want to, trying to encourage these little vertebrae to just have a move left to right. Let the little facet joints have a little bit of a move left to right. They don't work this way very often, barely at all. Okay, so this articulation is a really nice and important piece. Okay. Then releasing from left to right, in between each release down, left to right, very slowly. It gets a little more tricky in that lumbar area, so don't rush. Okay, onto the lower lumbar spine. And once you finally come down into neutral, pause and release there. Okay, so when you're ready, no rush, in your own time, bring your knees into your chest and just hug off those knees for a moment. A gentle roll from side to side. Good, right, so we're all down, wonderful. Okay, bring your nose towards your knees. Let's go ahead and just bring ourselves into a little roll here. If you want to, you can have a little play around and see if you can draw a little figure of 8 on your back. With your nose to knees, you're going to roll over the pelvis and then roll over the rib cage, imagining yourself drawing a number 8. If you can even go into a reverse number 8, okay, or gently just wobble around like jelly, I don't mind too much. Okay, and then gently we're going to bring ourselves into sitting, so you can use some of that mobility and momentum you've just gained and draw yourselves into sitting. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to have our feet flat on the mat to begin with, and our hands are going to face in towards our bottoms if you feel comfortable with this. If not, go ahead and pop your hands and you can have them facing out towards the side. I don't mind. However, I do rather mind that the arms are as straight as they can be. All right, so if you can try and think about these arms being straight, shoulder blades are back and down, and pop that chest through those arms as much as you possibly can. And really think about those shoulder blades drawing back and down. We've done loads of preparation for the shoulder blades area, so hopefully that's nice and mobile now for us. Now then, first things first, we're lengthening from the crown of the head, from the pelvis. Our little Lego man visual, we have that sense of the upper body pulling and popping away from your Lego man legs, nice and long. We're going to then allow ourselves to gently breathe in, and as we exhale, if we can, trying to think of the bottom lifting off the mat by 1 centimetre or 2. And then half of the rub is now not dumping down. You come down with a gentle kiss onto the mat, breathing in. Don't relax the shoulders. They're nice and engaged still. Exhale as you lift. Okay. Keeping yourself nice and long through the spine, and you exhale. Use the shoulders as your lever, as your hinge. Popping down. We've got 3 more. We are not peeling up and pressing our bottom into the ceiling, okay? You're thinking this back is staying really still, and you're elevating from the shoulder. Last 2. And final 1. And then just allow the legs to extend and forward fold for a moment. Weight off the wrists and arms. Okay, so this is our first set. The second set is going to involve quite a big step up. Okay, so we are going to be touching the opposite knee. If when you're starting this, you think it's a bridge too far, your bottom can be down or your bottom can be elevated. So let's go and bend the legs, feet on the floor, on the mat, obviously. Knees are in parallel, and find that lovely start position you had a moment ago. Now let's just think about the tummy in and the spine being nice and long. I want you to imagine now I am completely eyes on you, and I cannot let you move your torso in any way whatsoever, but I want you to, the bottom stays down, take your right hand and touch your left knee. I want you to imagine your torso staying so still. Breathe in, exhale, lift your left hand, touch your right knee. Okay, this is the tiniest of wiggles, perhaps a shift you feel across the hips, through the pelvis, a gentle nudge from one diagonal sling as you then go to the other, but that is it. Now, if you feel you can take it up a level, then you can go ahead and elevate the bottom this next time. Breathe in, exhale, bottom lifts. You'll feel there's a little bit more movement going on here. However, the concept is the same. You're trying to stay really super still as you touch opposite hand to knee. Now, this might be, again, a bridge too far, but you might find that you can just work on lifting the hand off. Okay, it might just be there's a hand off and down, and a hand off and down. Okay, that might be enough for your brain this Friday morning, which I completely get. And choose your level for this last set of 2. Last 1. And then release your bottom back down again, extending the legs and forward fold for a rest off the arms and shoulders. A little bit of a wobble of the legs. Okay, so a complete rest off our ankles and wrists. We're going to be down on the mats and we are like a starfish, but on our back. So rolling down for me, please. Extend those legs into a wide shape, like a V or a Y, and arms are also out and broad. Enjoy this stretch for a moment. Allow yourself to just hang out here for a second. Let the back have a bit of an arch. Reach from all the fingers and toes through the middle of the body. And then I'm going to start to get you to think about muscle activation. So I want you to think about the exhale, bringing the belly to spine. You're not going to be able to get into imprint. I'm aware of that, okay? But we are going to think about that belly drawing in towards the spine, okay? So that you're supporting the lower back when we go into our limb lifts. So chin slightly into throat space, exhaling belly to spine, reaching as big as you can with these arms and legs. I want you to exhale the next time, lift a single opposite arm and leg. And I'm talking about 5-10 centimeters off the floor and back down. Yeah, breathe in, exhale, opposite arm and leg lifting. Feel that tummy pulling in. Now, if you are struggling, okay, you can bring those legs perhaps slightly closer, okay, because then it'll be more of your front dominant hip flexors you're working. That might be a way of helping if the legs are feeling heavy, or don't lift quite so much, or just start the intention of lifting, and that will be enough to just engage the core muscles. Yeah, you don't even really have to lift, but the thinking of the lifting will tense the muscles and start that concept working. Switching from side to side, guys. If I didn't say that, do apologize. Do keep going on to the other side now if you're carrying on with one set. We are going to think about then just pausing down this next time here and pause. Okay, folks, we are going to think about heading into a double arm and leg lift. We need to really be confident that we can draw in the core. This is an isometric hold, which means once they're all up, it's a hold and a pause. We are going to count for 8 seconds. If you would rather now just go into your singles for another set, please choose that level now. If you're ready to do a double and an isometric hold, take a lovely breath in. Exhale, bring that belly to spine, draw the rib cage down to the pelvis and lifting your arms and legs, reaching them away from the middle of the body. We're holding for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, or singles, for 3, for 2, last one. Everything come back down onto the mat. Well done. Bring your hands overhead and gently bring your knees up to the ceiling, heels towards your bottom. Okay, we're going to sit ourselves up. Well, but actually, let's roll over. We can roll over from here, actually. That's fine. Knees to the front, roll over. Saves us sitting up because we're doing some plank work. So, guys, I'd like you to have your hands towards the front edge of your mat and roughly a hand span away from the front edge of the mat, okay? That's where you're going to be set up in 4-point kneeling to begin with, and we're going to go through whether we want to go into plank or not together, okay? 4-point kneeling here. All righty. In this 4-point kneeling position, now I've got you in the right position. I know that you can all move your hands forwards now, so your fingertips are towards the front edge of the mat, so they're right on that front edge. I want you to draw your body weight and your head and your crown forward so that you're now looking just in front of that edge of your mat. Yeah. Okay, so we're all at the front of the mat there. Now, this is our start position. Belly is in, shoulder blades down, and our necks are long. Try to avoid looking down towards what's going on. Just looking down to the front edge of the mat, please. Go ahead and breathe in with a very still tummy and a still torso. I want you to extend your left leg towards the mat behind you, toenails down. This is your entry level. Breathing in, let's go ahead and take the right leg out behind you, toenails down. Reach that leg away behind you. Going up a level, we're going to lift that leg now to bottom height and reach. Don't dump into the lower back. Yes, we're not looking to dump in. Keep that tummy engaged. Breathe in, exhale, lift. Reach, reach, reach. Now this, as I say, is our entry level, toes down or up. If, however, you would like to take it up a level into plank, okay, we're going to now pause. You can take your left leg away behind you, tuck your toes under, press through the heel and breathe in, exhale, joining that leg with your right leg. We're now in our plank position. If you know you are now looking somewhere down the middle of the mat, not at your carpet or floorboards, I think you may not be okay with planking. We need to then have the knees back down. Please don't go too far. If you are able to plank, breathe in and single leg lift into a strong, long pointed leg. Well done. Let that leg come back down. Breathe in and switch. Well done. And down. Breathe in, exhale as you switch. And down. Anytime you think, well, okay, I've done enough now, thanks, my knees can go down, you can go back into another level. We prepped before. Okay, we've got 4 more. And 3. Or at any point, child's pose. Last 2. Our final 1. Gorgeous. And then everybody now with the knees down, gently into child's pose. Pause, pause, pause. Okay, we're going to just take ourselves over. And we have 1 more set of reverse plank work. This time we're going to head into our full reverse plank. So legs are extended, nice and long. Hands are to your sides. Again, choose wisely. If you feel like the hands are getting a bit sore, you can have those fingers out towards the sides, okay? Equally, a bit wider is a bit easier, yeah, okay? Otherwise, we know that we can also have our fingertips facing towards our bottoms. Legs are long. As we did a moment ago with our bottoms down and our bent knees, we can now get that lovely Lego man stretch the upper body as if it's trying to pull itself away and out of that pelvis. Gorgeous, well done. Now we're going to breathe in. Don't forget the head doesn't get thrown back. You're keeping that neck as part of your spinal alignment. Breathe in, exhale, and you're going to gently lift the hips up towards the ceiling and press the toes to the floor. And then as you come down, as we did before, a feather touch to the floor. Breathing in, exhale, lifting the bottom towards the ceiling. Modifications, of course, here if you wish. You can bend the legs slightly and you can still do this slightly bent leg reverse plank, okay? And it's a little bit deeper with the legs further away than we had a moment ago, okay, with our bottom lifts. Continuing here for 2 more. Shoulder blades rolling back and down. And this is our last one. Pausing here, forward fold, weight off the shoulders. Okay, so you might like to choose to do 1 more set of those, or alternatively, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a kind of flip over of the plank work we just did. So we're going to be doing our reverse plank, holding, and then we're going to lift our legs, okay, into single leg extension. Modify, modify, modify. You don't have to flick your leg too high. You can just gently lift the heel off the floor and switch sides, okay? That is your level, fine, or bend the knees. Hands back, let's go ahead. That's enough of a mini break. Nice and long through the torso. Are you ready? Pull the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale, lifting into plank. Press the toes down. Breathing in, exhale, single leg extension and lower. Breathe in and switch. And lower. And switch. And lower. And switch. We've got 2 more. And last one. And then gently with control, releasing the bottom, down, 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 down. Let's sweep the arms behind us and sweep over into a forwards fold. Well done. Gentle wiggle, wiggle, wiggle of the legs. And we are going to be onto our side. So let's go ahead and have ourselves over towards the left side of the mat with the upper body. Your legs are slightly bent to begin with, and your feet are in your tightrope position. Okay, so you've got one in front of the other. Arms. Okay, so we've been doing lots of side bend prep the last few weeks. If you know, however, you have shoulder issues, go ahead and feel yourself in the lower, get yourself set up in this lower arm position just to support. There's not so much weight lifting onto the shoulder. If you want to progress from the last few weeks, we have a straight arm position. The arm is at an angle, so your hand is further away from the shoulder. And let's go through our little setup, okay? So your knees are not too bent and tucked up. They're kind of loosely bent. You've got the lift of the rib cage. Yeah, good. You've got the lengthening through the crown of the head. Feel the space in the torso. Okay, and now hand is towards the side, shoulder blades back and down. We are going to head up into our side plank, okay? And we're going to do a javelin arm. So when you're ready, we're breathing in. You're going to press into your feet, lifting your bottom and hips towards the ceiling. We're heading up into our side plank. Press into the shoulder blades, reach through the top of the fingertips, and then gently soften your knees and pull and pop yourselves back down. And now just modify if you need to. Take yourselves down into your bent arm. Go for it now. Okay, breathing in. Let's go up into your lovely lift and hold. Yes, well done. And release that down. Wonderful. Okay, one more time, breathing in and up and lift. Well done, gorgeous. If you'd like to go into arc, you're more than welcome to go right over into arc. Reach, reach, reach. If you feel you can come into javelin and a leg lift, you're more than welcome to challenge yourself with that final little piece and then gently bring ourselves back down, softening the knees. Well done. Okay, switching to the other side, sweep those legs around. Okay, so your feet are in your tightrope position. Yes, I got it right. Tightrope position. Knees are soft, hands slightly away from the shoulder. Find the space by lifting the rib cage, putting down the shoulder blades, taking that shoulder away from the earlobe. Neck is long and in alignment and your top hand's facing forwards. Okay, ready yourself by feeling that you've got the connection to the sides of the feet there. Breathing in, exhale and lifting up and into your side bend. Now you can adjust accordingly where those feet are. Hips are stacked still, breathing in and soften the knees as you come back down. Make sure you don't roll backwards, guys. Keep that top hip pointing to the ceiling as you lift. Checking those hips are stacked, okay? So you've not opened to the back. Well done. Soften the knees and back down. Bend the arm, of course, if you need to when you're ready. Let's go. And lift and hold. Pausing here, over into arc if you wish, if you want to take it a little bit more. And alternatively into javelin and top leg lift. If you want to head up into your side plank leg, then you're more than welcome. And then everyone just gently easing back down, 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 down. Wonderful. Okay. And we're onto our knees, guys. We're heading onto our knees. Okay, so folks, we can either be high kneeling or we are down onto our kneel as I'm showing you now with bottoms to heels. If you do struggle with bottoms to heels, you're more than welcome to shove a couple of cushions now underneath your bottom. So this would be a modification. We're going to go into horseback, which is a nice stretch. It's one we use on the reformer, which are the Pilates machines. When you have your straps, you can use a bit of resistance on the straps, but it's actually a nice one to do as well for a stretch. It's called horseback. We are either bottoms down or up, and our arms are towards the front. I'm going to show you with bottoms down, okay, but you can modify. Arms are towards the front and palms are facing down. Okay, so if you can, to be honest, if you can have bottoms and heels towards your heels, go for it. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Well done. That's your preference, but some people just can't quite get there. So that's fine. That's where we'd like to start if we can. We're going to breathe in. As we exhale, we're pressing the air down with the palms or our hands by our sides. We're going to tuck our chin to our chest and we're going to pull the belly in and try and imagine ourselves lifting our bottom, or don't just imagine, just try and lift your bottom off the heels. And you're going to be thinking of pressing that air behind you, pulling the belly in, chin into your throat space, and pressing the front of the thighs and hips forwards, releasing the bottom towards your heels and arms come forwards. Breathing in and exhale. So as I say, you might have a cushion there behind you to soften down onto. You carry on there, guys, just continue. Or if you're in your raised position, you're just going to be thinking of exhaling and gently letting your arms reach behind and belly pulling into spine. Okay, this is the lovely high kneel version, which is a modification. Well done. And lifting into horseback, lift, press the front of the hips forward, pull the pubic bone to your nose and tuck in under last time and press. Gorgeous, well done. And release there, gorgeous. Allow those legs to sweep to the front of you. And we're going to have our legs out to the front with our feet in flexion. Starting off with our hips, legs hip width apart, so not too wide, just about hip width, and our hands are just going to be out towards the front as if we're holding a block again towards the front of us. Into our spine stretch forward, feeling that you've got a gentle lift through the crown of the head, but perhaps even squeezing those sit bones in underneath your bottom there. If you can feel that little squeeze in, narrowing the hips slightly. And then from there, we're going to bring our belly into spine, start to roll down, nose heading towards your knees for our gentle spine stretch, 1 of 3. Peeling yourself back up, sit nice and tall, breathing in and exhale down for spine stretch. And final time. Gorgeous, well done. Gently bringing your legs together so they're glued together. Take the arms into goalposts so your elbows are roughly same height as your shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to roll, you stay where you are. I'm just going to turn around. So guys, we're going to go into goalposts this time. We're going to head towards our sides for our spine twist. In between, we're going to reach to the ceiling. Okay, so when you're ready, rotate to the side with a breath in. And as you come to center this time, we exhale and send our hands to the ceiling. Breathe in as you head to the side. It's a slightly different breathing pattern. And then as you come to center, exhale. Well done, breathing in. Well done. One more time. Either side, and to center, and final time. And to center, releasing the hands now towards your side into a T and extend the legs nice and wide for our saw. If you want to pop your bottom onto a cushion, then please do. If you'd like to get a bit of help with your forward fold for saw, stick a little cushion under there and off we go into saw. We're going to start off nice and tall, rotation towards your left leg, or I don't mind which one, that's the right leg for me, right leg, and then we're going to head down, little finger reaching towards the opposite little toe. Nose heading towards your knee, hand palm up behind you, looking over that shoulder. Gentle bounce if you feel comfortable. Bring yourself upright first with straight arms. Come back into your T. Breathe in, rotation towards your other leg. Sweeping one arm behind you, gently reaching opposite hand to foot. Nose to knee, palm up behind. Look over that shoulder and then peel back up and to center. One more time. Breathing in and to the side and down. Gentle bouncing if you feel comfortable. And back up to center. And sweeping round. And to center. Well done. Gently bring yourself to the middle and legs are coming together. Gorgeous, well done. Taking your legs underneath you, tucking behind you. And we're going to bring ourselves into standing. I'd like you to come into a V stretch or a downward dog. So your toes are tucked under, your hands are, shoulder blades are engaged, lifting your knees towards the ceiling and up into your V stretch. Heads between the elbows or arms or shoulders and pedaling the legs for a moment, getting a bit of a stretch. Okay, around that glute, around that hamstring, around the back of the legs and the ankles. And then when you're ready, we're going to just relax those legs and we're going to walk the feet in towards the hands, gently, small little inches forwards. As you come to a point where you're as far as you can go, let the weight shift into the soles of the feet, weight into the heels, keeping the head tucked down to begin with. Find the tummy button to bring you up. Don't lead with the head, okay, because that's when you get that dizziness because you throw the head up too soon. Use the body to restack and we are into standing. Okay, guys, so we're going to finish off with a nice little twist challenge. I'd like you to step off your mat if you can, just onto a slightly harder surface and also a surface that isn't going to spin under your feet like your mat would. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about softening the knees ever so slightly. Okay, so it's just a gentle softening of the knees slightly. And I want you to have your hands just down by your sides and restack that spine nice and tall. Okay, we're going to just experiment to see whether we can head into a double heel raise. So when you're ready, breathing in, exhale and lifting both heels off the mat and release them back down. Okay, so just find that bendiness of the knees and just easy work lifting the heels, but really it's a balance thing. If you're struggling with balance, we're not only going to raise the heels at a moment, we're going to rotate too. So you might want to find that you want to just have the heels down for this next piece. It's up to you. If you can, we're going to go ahead and lift the heels and pause, or your heels are down and arms come out towards the side of you like a V or a Y shape. Okay, we are now going to see if we can twist and face behind ourselves. Okay, to do this, we will have to start to use the movement through the knee and then, so let's go towards, let's all of us head to the right. Let's do this together as a team. Over towards the right, left leg is twisting and coming with you, but you're trying to keep the heels elevated. That's our challenge, okay? You're gonna see how far you can go. You're going to see if you can actually twist so far that you look towards the back of the room. Okay, heels still elevated if you can, or down if it's a wobbly mess. And then you're going to bring yourself back. Okay, eyes on the horizon and facing the front with the heels elevated. Breathe in and away we go the other way, round to the opposite side to the left. Your right, so your left leg, sorry, twisting with you. Okay, so that left heel will be lifted and twisting, looking towards the back of the room. Okay, and come back to your start position. Well done. And release the heels back down, walking your toes and heels in together. And if you want to step onto your mat, you're more than welcome, or just go ahead and take a moment to get your feet back into parallel. Hands down by your sides. And just take a little moment to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Close your eyes if you wish. On your next inhale, bring in your hands towards the ceiling for me, guys, double arm float. Turn the palms away, close your fingers for me, bring those fingers together. Now press the air down by your sides, reach down, down, down to the floor and swing those shoulder blades back and down underneath you. Go ahead and find about 60% of the weight in your heels, please. And let's do that again. Breathe in. Well done. Palms down, palms away. So press down by your side. Sweep those shoulder blades down. They've been nicely mobilized. Let's set them back and down. Tummies in. Pausing here. Hands by your sides for 2 more breaths. As you exhale, zip and hollow. Remind yourself of that basic principle of engaging your core. And one more time. Letting the energy pool down into the soles of the feet, through the heels, into the floor. And open your eyes. And we are done. Well done. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Got through loads, which is fantastic, actually. So really well done. I'm really pleased with you. That's really fantastic work. And lovely form, as always. No bother with you guys. You're fantastic. Good work. Chris, you can go and have a well-earned rest. You can take over from me teaching. Okay. Thank you all. Have a super weekend. And I will see you all next week or by video. Take care for now. Bye.